Day 231 of my dropshipping journey, currently sitting at $3,000 per day. I'm going to go over what allowed me to bump budgets pretty aggressively this week. Went from doing a little bit over $1,000 per day on Monday to now consistently over $3,000 over the past few days. I'm going to go over what is my plan to get to $5,000 per day this weekend. Also, how I'm planning on scaling to $10,000 per day by next weekend, and we'll see if my plan comes into fruition. So let's get right into it. Pretty much the only reason why you should be bumping budgets is if your ROAS and your profit margin allows you to do so. And my profit margin and my return on ad spend has been really good this week, so I'm just scaling budgets. I haven't been bumping too aggressively throughout the day. I'm just bumping on a day-to-day period right now. Of course, on better days like today, Friday, is usually kind of a midday for my brand, but Saturday, Sundays tend to crush. So I'm going to be sitting in the Facebook ads manager and hopefully bumping budgets throughout the day if the performance is doing really well. So that's pretty much my plan to get to $5,000 per day. Obviously, if my profit margin is really good at $3,000 per day, then there should be no issues on scaling up to $5,000 per day. I'm currently running two products. One of them is a new product that I have launched not too long ago, a little bit over a week, and it has been performing really well. My campaign setup for this product is I have one top 5 CBO and a worldwide CBO as well, with the top 5 countries in that as well. So that is consistently performing at over a 2 ROAS throughout this whole past week. Ever since I launched those 2 CBOs, they both have been crushing it. And I want to keep it as simple as possible. So that's how I'm going to continue running it. I'm going to have just those 2 CBOs. And anytime I test new creatives, I'm just going to launch a new ad set within the CBO, the main one, the top 5, and then duplicate it into the worldwide one. And that's how pretty much I'm going to continue testing my creatives. The gurus might tell you to do interest targeting. I know very few people that do interest targeting right now in 2024 with how the AI algorithm and how Facebook has been doing its thing. There's really no point to do so. Obviously, maybe when you get to a point where something is really working and you want to test out new stuff, maybe interest is cool. I don't dabble in that at all. I want to keep it as simple as humanly possible, not to overcomplicate anything. At a time where I had my old winner running the first time I ever launched that product, I had a bunch of campaigns. I didn't know what to add budget to. It was just getting hectic in the ad account. So I tried to make sure that everything is simplified. So that's the first product. So my plan is to get that up to like $12.50 in daily budget across those 2 campaigns, depending on which one performs the best. I'm going to continue bumping budget, and that should bring in around $2,500 in sales, obviously aiming for that 2 ROAS. So some days are better, some days are worse. That's just how the e-com game is. Like today, we're sitting at over 2K and the profit margin is pretty low. The sales have been inconsistent, but obviously everything can turn around. It's kind of weird. I don't know if due to the fact that I'm still at a low budget, because relative to the big whales, the big sharks, spending $1,600 on ads across 2 products right now is really not that much in the grand scheme of things. So I'm wondering if that's due to the low budget, and that's why the fluctuations are a little bit more drastic than compared to if you were spending like 5K a day on ads. But that's pretty much for what I'm doing for the new product. The old product, I have it in a separate business manager with a separate pixel, separate ad account, just because of how fragile that product has been over the past 2 months. Me trying to revive that with everything that I could. It finally started working. I'm going to knock on wood just because of the Facebook superstition. Anytime I upload ads on that ad account, I have to play my game day song, make sure that the fan is on. The superstition with Facebook ads is getting to my head, guys. So anytime I see a notification in the business manager, I just get super paranoid that it's going to say urgent disabled. But now I'm kind of getting to a point where I'm a little bit desensitized from it. I still want to make sure that I'm not uploading crazy ads before the election. Right now, Meta is getting stricter by the day as leading up to the election. And of course, Q4 things, CPMs are rising, the metrics are getting more expensive. But overall, this week has been, I want to say, successful up until this point. For as far as my old winning product, it's pretty much the same plan as the new one. Get the spend up to $12.50 a day. combine those two products together at an average of a 2 ROAS. That's how I'm planning to hit $5,000 per day by Sunday. So scale those two products up to both having $1,250 in spend, and that should add up to $5,000 per day in theory, right? It should work magically, but what's going to happen in reality, we'll find out. That is my plan for the 5K day this weekend. And as far as $10,000 per day, I just want to make sure that before I continue bumping the budgets aggressively, I have all my campaigns dialed in. That will pretty much be $2,500 spread across those two products, depending on which one performs better. One might get more spend than the other. Right now, kind of crazy, my new product is performing really well. Like I said, continuously bumping the budgets. The metrics are kind of crazy. So this is another misconception, I would say, about being too obsessed with metrics. Over those two campaigns combined, the cost per click is over $2. The CPM is about 25 to 30 in that range, and it's profitable, consistently bringing in revenue. So it's also your ad in your product, Facebook will kind of see, and the quality of your traffic might be different. So for instance, if my cost per click was super low and Facebook was just sending shit traffic to my website, I could be getting a way lower conversion rate. But since the traffic seems to be really high quality, my conversion rate is consistently above 5%. On good days, could be even 7%. So don't get too obsessed about the metrics like the CPM, the cost per click. It doesn't really matter if you're still at a low budget. And if it's profitable, then it is what it is. You have to go off of your ROAS, your cost per purchase, and your profit margin in order to be able to scale. So that is my plan, to obviously maintain over a 20% margin. Some days are lower. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know if it's my offer, my product. I have been trying to do anything that I can to increase my margins. Obviously, the creative plays a really big part in your profit margin. Since you just release a banger creative at 5K spend, you're getting a consistent 2.4 ROAS. That's wonderful. You can scale that to the moon. But the reality of what I'm doing right now, maybe the creatives aren't as good to bring in to satisfy that budget, but we shall see. I'm hoping for the best, and I don't want to be that guy that hits a $10,000 day with like a 5% profit margin, because it's not. The dashboard is cool and the revenue is cool, but it's all about that money, all about that profit. So making sure that I'm not scaling too aggressively. If my profit margin, my target profit margin is anywhere between 25 to 30%, if it's below that, then I'm not going to scale. I'm going to let everything stabilize, the budget optimize, and then continue bumping the budgets whenever that allows me to do so. And if I'm not going to be able to, then continue pumping out better creatives and finding those better ads that are going to be able to withhold that amount of budget. I know there's this guy, I don't know if you've seen him. His name is Ecom Soup. He stopped posting, but he was posting videos every single weekday, and I know he went over this cool analogy about how whenever you build out your funnel with your creatives, your landing page, your offer, it's kind of like a pipeline, and budget is the pressure you add to that pipeline. So whenever you start increasing the budget, you're adding more pressure to the pipe that you've built. And whenever you're not able to run profitably, the pipe kind of bursts, and then you have to go back and figure out what to improve on based on the data that you're getting. So maybe your ads are just not performing, your landing page, your offer is wonderful, has worked in the past, but the creatives are just like not able to withstand that amount of budget. So you need to go in, make better creatives, and then retest that and continue having that feedback loop. But that's pretty much my plan, my game plan on $10,000 per day. We've been at it for so goddamn long. Ever since I hit $1,000 day, the goal has been 10,000. And in my mind, I thought that, August was setting up really well. We ended July with a record day of $4,100 in sales. And I thought that is just going to be super easy, bump budgets, get some UGC, everything's going to hit. But in reality, you have to do your due diligence. You have to make sure that every move is planned out and every move is strategic. Can't speak right now, but every move needs to be planned out. It needs to be strategic. You don't want to just be throwing darts at the wall, hoping that something sticks whenever you have something working. Whenever you're first testing products, throwing shit at the wall, figuring out what niche works for you, what markets work for you, I think is good. But whenever you do have something working, you want to make sure to go deeper, to make sure to understand your customer, understand what makes them tweak out, what they like hearing, what they like seeing, and what they're expecting, and the benefits of your product. I think problem solving products sell the easiest, so that's just a little bit of sauce. But yeah, $10,000 day is coming up soon. I can feel it within week, 2 weeks time. I'm confident that we will hit the $10,000 day. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe before the $10,000 day. Make sure you like the video, and let's have a conversation down below in the comments. I really appreciate you for your time to chop it up with me on these videos. My plan was to put out a vid every single weekday, but I do kind of like putting out a video maybe every other day, just due to the fact that I want to let them, do their thing, not just post. But we'll see what the next week brings. I might just be in demon mode wanting to put out videos. I have some cool ideas, so make sure you're tapped in. If you want to join the Telegram, which is super inactive and I'm not posting on there, if you want to find out if that changes, go ahead and DM me on Instagram. Just DM me Telegram and you'll get the link right away. And if you want to connect with me, if you want to DM me and you don't want to do it out in front of everybody in the comments, hit me up on Instagram. Make sure you're followed though, So follow the IG, subscribe, and I'll end it off on this note, It is what it is. We're scaling up. We're feeling good, looking good. You know what I mean? Fresh cut too. So let's crush this week. I'm about to crush this week. I'm about to dial in, post this video, go to sleep, and wake up 5:20.